Hey everybody, welcome to Zenny62 on YouTube on a record day for Oakland News Now and the Zenny62 Media Network platforms. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend. You may have seen him on Shark Tank with his unique dome hat there. What kind of hat do you call that? What is that style? Kangol? Is that?
Fedora hats.
Fedora. Fedora, that's right. I should know because one of my heroes, the late Tom Landry, coach of Dallas Cowboys, was the king of the snap brim fedora. The fedora. Robbie Cabral, CEO of BenjiLock, Shark Tank star, CES star, and star at home with his family and with people like myself who, first of all, love his products, which he was kind enough to send here. And they are, interestingly, I will make a quick adjustment here so I make sure that people can see them. One moment, please. Enter. There we are. Okay. And as I was saying, folks, I made my classic adjustment so that you can see these. Boom. There they are. All right. And in case you're wondering what happens, one camera goes down, you switch to the other.
Yeah.
Boy Scouts, always be prepared. Right, Robbie?
Yep.
All right. Robbie, great to have you on the show. What's the update about BenjiLock? And tell my viewers what these fantastic products are all about and what they do, even though I know and many people know.
Well, but before we with you, do you have an echo there, or what do you think?
A nickel?
An echo? Oh, no, you're good now. No, I just wanted to let you know that first and foremost, I hope you're doing well and healthy. Because last time we saw each other was at CES Unveiled 2020, and it just felt like yesterday.
It did, does it? Yeah.
It just felt like yesterday, and then
we're both healthy. We went to CES and we lived to tell about it.
Exactly. And as you may see in the news lately, that I think I read that it kind of started spreading up there, huh? So, so at least we're healthy and safe, and always wishing the best for you and your family. So, that was the first thing I wanted to kind of get it out of the way. And
I to you, and I to you, and my mom wants to come up. She's not feeling so well, but she's really proud of you. She's watching you on television. And so I just want you to know that. So
no, always thankful for that. Because I remember when me and you, we connected back in 2017 CES. So you actually have been kind of seeing the journey of a prototype product, and then basically the whole process of Eureka Park, and then Shark Tank, and then the partnership with Hampton Products and Kim Kelly, which you actually met at CES as well. And it's been a great journey. And then all of a sudden we got hit with COVID. So basically CES 2020 was our last show, incredible. Our last show.
How are you doing through this?
I mean, we're doing well. I mean, it was, something that came out of nowhere. And I kind of related to a lot, kind of like when I got laid off from work, that's how the BenjiLock idea came up. It was just out of the blue, out of nowhere. And things like this come up, and you kind of have to figure out, okay, it's not gonna be as easy, but you have to figure out how to make the most out of it. Even though if you put a little bit of time in your effort and whatever you want to do, whether it's a product or an idea or write a book or I don't know, catch up on a show, at least you put a little bit of effort every day, and that little bit goes a long way. And that's the same way that I kind of build a BenjiLock. It's the same way that I see that even though we're going through this whole pandemic, I feel like there's a long way to, put our efforts in a positive way out there, especially during these times. So
I'd like to share something with you and why this is important around this house. Safety, particularly now with so many weird things going on, you need to have a padlock that just works and something that you can use. We have a well out back, every place else. So I can't impress upon you how much and how important it is for people to have a BenjiLock right now, just to protect their valuables,
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. And the beauty of a BenjiLock is that it's not only the security aspect, but the accessibility that regardless of your age, you can still use it. The simplicity of it because it's not connected. So both of them, the TSA travel lock and also the regular one that you have, they're just both regular products, non-connected, very easy to use. But it's also too that I like to share a lot. It's kind of like the story behind the product because, as you know, a lot of us go through so many ups and downs, and I feel like right now the world is going through that. And my goal is to hopefully motivate anyone watching tonight that even though you're going through it, just take a deep breath, go out for a little walk, and figure things out. Because even though a lot of people right now are unemployed, and it's looking like it's gonna be we're going aiming into a recession, which is it's looking like. At least you have to figure out how to be the best version of yourself during these times. And I think the BenjiLock story kind of relates a lot with what's going on right now beyond the product. So that's why I'm always very excited to connect with you because you've seen my journey since the beginning, and not only out of nothing, because myself I'm an immigrant from Dominican Republic. I was born and raised back home, and it doesn't matter where you're from, what gender, what you name it. If you can create something, don't let anyone tell you that you can't. And I'm personally proud of you because, seeing how you've been developing your platform and remember seeing you a couple years back, and then every year you just keep expanding and doing the best version that you can. That's something that, regardless of the times, you keep pushing. And that's what I like.
I got it from you, man. And I got to ask too, since a lot of people are purchasing online and I have a company, and even though right now, because of the time of day, I'm not getting the common number of viewers, but when they come and they're seeing this, some of them will wonder, hey, is there an affiliate program where they can set up and get links to their website and have something about you, and then people can buy and they get a percentage, or Zennia 62 Media, we can help push you online? Is there something like that?
That there's actually nothing like that. So that's a good idea to bring to the table. Yes. At the moment, it's been just basically through BenjiLock.com and BuyHampton.com, which is the partnership that I have with Kevin O'Leary and Kim Kelly, that they're the ones that are building the product and selling it.
Mr. Wonderful, right?
Correct. Which he's been a very great hands-on, especially during this pandemic. He's been very positive, helping us, promote the brand and selling through different platforms like QVC as of late. Because I think TV right now has been kind of helpful for a lot of products like mine, because retail, just as of late, it started reopening, but it's not the same process. And then if you're not really an essential product, it's tough. So you have to figure out a way how to, like a lot of products and a lot of businesses are going through this, is how do you become more digital? How do you become more, modern, but also using the TV channel? Because I feel like a lot of people right now have the time to tune in on TV, be online and just try to make the most out of it while we go through this whole transition. So that's one of the things that we've been doing personally with BenjiLock, also connecting a lot with customers and people that have followed my journey since the beginning. I always like to share the message, because then it feels that it's more of a family. It's like CES, it's like a big family.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it, because then when you build customers like that, then you can relate and everyone can relate with you, and it goes beyond the product. So it's a good thing to, it helps me a lot to sell the product, but it also helped me a lot to inspire other people that may have been unemployed at the moment and going through a lot of times and having kids and all that. I completely get it, because we have 3 of our own, and this has not been easy at all, but you have to just manage and figure things out.
Hey, I got to ask also, I got to say one thing. When I think of this and I think of protection, I mean, it's tough times and people are out, and unfortunately in some cities you've got protests and everything else. I can't think of a better device, folks, if you're a business owner, to have right now. I hate to just turning water into wine, right? But this is the thing you need to have to protect your valuables and protect your business, because of its unique design and unique strength, and the fact that it's not the usual type of key, right?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, the beauty of it is a hybrid. So you still have your traditional key, but also you have your fingerprint. and you know that it's actually built by a well-known company, because Hampton Products builds all the Brinks lock security. So you know that there's reliability. It's solid. It's a great product. And as you see below, all those awards below come basically from BenjiLock. And you know, it's been a great success, great journey. You know, the product has been out for a year or so now in the market. It's little by little expanding into different versions, like the TSA travel one, different colors, you know, like the matte gray now, as you see here, and matte navy. So it's been a really cool journey, because it's expanding to other colors, other types of padlocks. And as you saw at CES, which we kind of had to put a little bit things on hold because of the whole pandemic, but we're coming out now with a bike lock, a door lock, also a drawer lock. So there's a lot of different versions of the BenjiLock. As long as we have the security of fingerprint and key, I believe that we will have a lot of hybrid solutions for years to come. So it'll take some time, but very proud and excited where we're at right now.
And hey, you know, CES has already announced that there's going to be a CES 2021, right? So it ain't over, man.
It ain't over. You know, I'm actually very impressed with Gary and the team, because you know, I know that they want to push boundaries, especially, you know, consumer tech. We're always trying to be risk takers, and you know, as long as we do it right, who knows? Maybe CES might be the first trade show that actually opens to the world. I mean, we'll see how everything goes, because even our upcoming trade shows, which were the Ace Hardware, that one got canceled. A lot of our trade shows got canceled. And then I just read the latest news on Ace Hardware, actually, that we received today, that it will actually go, but it will be only virtual. So September, the month of September, we will be exhibiting at the Ace Hardware show, but only in a virtual way. So that's interesting. I mean, you know, we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. But again, at the end of the day, the virtual side of things is not the same as when we connect at CES, when we meet at CES, because I feel like there's just that person-to-person charisma that you know, that you can't really do through Zooms and all these.
Or as the French would say, je ne sais quoi, right?
Yeah.
You know?
We'll see. I mean, I'm very excited. Hopefully, you know, CES, you know, we have a booth, because we always reserve it before the show ends to kind of have our spot for the next year. So we do have it, but we'll see how the next couple weeks or months go by, you know, because it's kind of like a never-ending story. It's up and down.
Hey, but you know, in chaos, there's opportunity. And what I like about
exactly,
you know, right about this is I think that folks, if you're watching this, you want to buy it. I'm going to put this right here where you can go, BenjiLock.com, right there. And I'm showing that there it is. Okay. So you can go right there and you can buy right now, right, Robbie?
Yeah. Any of our partners, retailers, you name it, from Ace Hardware to the Grommet to Beta to Beth Bath & Beyond. Little by little, the brand has been expanding to all these different retailers. And I'm just excited and passionate, even though we're going through a lot of hard times. At least a lot of the partners that we have been extremely supportive of our products. And you know, we just have to keep pushing, keep risking it, but in a good and a healthy way.
And something else too, folks, this broadcast, as you know, is on YouTube. And we're not only there, we're going to put it out to, it's on LinkedIn. You can watch it on LinkedIn right now if you want to. And we're on Twitter and multiple times. So just shared this in a post as I have you here talking. And then it's going to be on Oakland News Now as well, as a blog post automatically. Blogger, it's all over the place. So you'll have a number of bites at the apple. And by the way, I'll welcome folks who are watching it and spread the word about BenjiLock. But most important, hey, I got to ask you a question, man. How'd you come up with this cool design?
You know, it was just a lot of ideas. It's the same as how the product was created. You know, my mind has always been more of a creative guy. So just designing and putting things together. And I think the way the product is, it kind of resembled the packaging as well, that whole oval circular style. And I felt like it was something different, new, unique. And that now we're expanding it from that packaging to the one that I just showed you as of late, which is the same one, especially when you're shipping and things of that nature. At least we have two versions out. So,
and how did they come up? How'd you come up with the name BenjiLock?
well, the name actually, it was basically bouncing ideas and writing stuff down, and just kind of like how back in the day when I used to have my band, that I used to kind of make a lot of band names and see which one sticks. And BenjiLock actually, sticked, and I think it was something that even when I go through shows like Ace Hardware, because Ace Hardware, a lot of their stores are owned by persons like you and me. They have their own family, they have their own kids. So even when they go to the shows, I can see that the kids right away go BenjiLock, BenjiLock. So when you see that the kids really like the name, that's when you know that you have something special that is gonna stick for years to come. So I can't complain on that. And it was something just simple. My name is not Benji. My kids are not Benji or nothing like that. It was just more something that it's unique, simple, fun, exciting. It's not like the whole how people are used to looking at locks, like kind of boring. And this is more, I always thought of the whole teal, the whites, the that whole thing of making it fun and exciting.
Hey, the Raiders is here. One of our regular viewers. He asks, "Is this a lock that requires you to scan to open?"
So basically, when you set it up, it comes with a traditional key. So when you come and set it up, basically you can set up to 10 fingerprints. And yes, it's kind of like your iPhones. Basically, you just scan with your fingerprint, unlocks, and you're ready to go. And again, the beauty of BenjiLock so far is that we're non-connected. I've always been a preacher of that, because I felt that since the idea came out in the gym, I felt like you can't rely on Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or things of that nature, because if that fails, then you're doomed. In my case was that you still at least have your backup traditional key, and a single charge lasts you a whole year. So can't go wrong with that.
And hey, the Raiders, thanks for that question, by the way. We have a lot of Oakland, now Las Vegas Raider fans here, and
which actually the when I was heading actually to CES this year, holy smokes, what a beautiful stadium.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I mean, it's incredible. This is gonna be like the high-end tech. I should have put my Raider Nation hoodie that I have here. This,
I should have worn it. That's my fault.
I should have known. Next time. Now I know.
Got it.
Beautiful stadium. So hopefully the season will be good this year.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. I just hope there is a season. We got to get back to the optimism and spirit, that just drives us. But you know what though, I got to ask you, for people who are wondering, what was it like to be on Shark Tank?
Well, it was scary. That was a scary, a lot of anxiety, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to, if somebody actually is going to pick your idea or maybe not. But at the end of the day, in my case, I kind of went more of a just be yourself, explain your story, and just be true to yourself, and then things will happen. And if it happens, great. If not, at least you're proud of what you just did. And that's the way I took it when I went to the tank, and actually ended up panning out, because 4 out of the 5 sharks actually went all in, and I ended up picking Kevin, because I felt like he was like the one that made the questions that he was asking me were the same questions that were kind of lingering my whole time while working on my own. So it ended up working out, because it's been a great partnership.
And what was the deal, by the way? He is a part owner, is that it, or how did the deal work out?
Yeah, so basically, I remember at the show, everybody jumped in, and it was tough because I had Alex Rodriguez, which he's Dominican, partnering with Barbara Corcoran, so I was almost heading that route. Then also Lori Grenier wanted to be part of the BenjiLock as well. But then Kevin said, have you ever thought of licensing? And that really sparked my head, because at the time I had companies interested, but I always thought that if you do that, it's kind of like in the music business, that you might have a great record and all that, but all of a sudden If it's not a hit, they can put it in that drawer and lock it up, and that's it. You're done. And I felt like, I wanted to expand the brand, the name BenjiLock, and get it out there. And that's one of the things that Kevin told me, that, we could give you all the money in the world, but if you've never been in that retail environment and that platform of the locks, it's going to be difficult to kind of expand your brand. And I felt like Kim Kelly and Hampton Products were the best partners for us, because they were hungry since the beginning. And when Kim tells you that they're going to do something, they're doing it. And it's been a great partnership. Again, licensing, licensing is not how people think, that sometimes you got a license and then you can go sit down and relax. Not really. And in my case, I wanted to keep my brand name. And for me, like, BenjiLock is like another baby of mine. So I'm always working every day, always working, always pushing it. And if you want to achieve something in life, you always have to keep putting a little bit of effort into whatever you're doing, whether it's sports, whether it's games, whether it's, we're all entrepreneurs at the end of the day. You are one, I am one, my kids are one, your family. I mean, we're all entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, we just have to put that little effort to get to that hump. And not everyone does it. So, a lot of people told me, hey, I had that idea. How come I cannot, I had that idea years ago. And I said, well, that's great, but why you didn't execute? And that's the whole thing, that a lot of us have a lot of ideas, but they just don't, execute. And I think that that's the beauty of it, that if whatever you want to achieve, just put that little effort in it, and it'll go a long way.
And something else too is that it gave you a big boost, Shark Tank, huh? I mean, but I have to say, even though it gave you a big boost, the one thing that I stick out at when I think of BenjiLock, has nothing to do with Shark Tank at all. It has something to do with how you quite literally grabbed me at CES, which is how I wound up doing the first interview that you had. And you have an infectious personality. You're a nice person. You have a great heart. And I think that molds everything that you built, because there are people who, and I can see it with the people that we're working with, they're loyal to you, and that's a beautiful thing. I mean, so it's really your construct, man. You should, whenever you get down, don't get down, get up, because you're the man that quite literally reached out with your personality. It wasn't like you actually grabbed me physically, just like, hey, come here, that's right. And your team found me. So and that meant a lot to me, because as a person who has a media startup, I really appreciate it when people recognize what I'm trying to do, and ultimately at the end of the day, it is to help them too.
Exactly. It's like, no, and it's the same. Kind of like what you're doing. It's that you put that little effort every day, even though some days you may not feel it. Some days you're tired. You just don't have it. Take a deep breath, and then the next day you keep going. And I'm an advocate that if that passion dies, and then you feel like every day that passion is not there, then maybe it's time to kind of move on. But as long as you have that passion, that every day something kind of ticks and you just want to get back to it, then you're on the right path. You just got to keep going.
My first company was Sports Business Simulations, and what happened was I accidentally pivoted. We made online simulations with sports organizations for use in the classroom, but I discovered blogs and blogging to bring traffic to it. And when I started doing video blogging and getting recognized for it, and then I was on CNN and all this, it fed my ego. But as much as I also saw the traffic possibilities and everything else, and I was on YouTube, and by the simple fact that I told you all that, it meant that it was kind of like my other business went by the wayside when I think it could not have. And so I learned a lesson the hard way. But you're right. We're all entrepreneurs, and I've been blessed to know you. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, who I've learned a lot just from brief conversations, and then watching him at work and in action, and a number of people. I'm also a big admirer of Mark Cuban. I met him at Reality Rocks convention in 2010 when Shark Tank was there, and I met him in a very odd way. He was coming out of the men's bathroom. It was on the way to the door. So he was coming right toward me. So I just thought, oh, I'll introduce myself because he's coming my direction. That's how I met him.
But it's interesting because even in my Shark Tank episode, Mark Cuban actually didn't invest in me because he felt that at the time it was going to take a lot of manufacturing hurdles,
Hmm.
which is true because it was just a prototype.
Mhm.
It was going to take a lot of time and effort. But two things that I really picked out from him was that he was very proud that I never went the route of a Kickstarter or Indiegogo, that I actually self-funded this project on my own. And he felt that that was a big commitment because not everyone does that. And
Yeah.
even though you get into depth and all that, it's tough.
You know,
You know, a lot of you have to have that really mental toughness to go through it, especially when you have family and all that. But that was one of the things that really stuck out with me when he told me that. And then also, even though he got out, he actually guided me through the show too. They don't show that on TV, but he
really?
was he was very uh, communicative during that platform. So always excited to see him. And actually, my wife saw him when we had a booth at Eureka Park the year after the show, and I was upstairs in the whole smart home area, and
Mhm.
he actually recognized BenjiLock right away and came by and say hi and took some pictures and all that. And that's
Nice.
how you know that the whole Shark Tank platform is like a family. But then also,
Yeah.
when you're at CES, it's like a whole big family because Mark Cuban has been going there for years. You've been going there for years. I've been going there now for years now, and it's one of those things that it's like you're home away from home.
It is. It's my mecca.
Mm.
I feel any day, any year I am not at CS is a bad year. And you know what? I haven't had a bad year in 10 years.
And you feel kind of re-energized too because then you see other entrepreneurs, everyone's doing the same thing, and it's a learning experience. And 1.2 that you kind of touched back earlier is that sometimes you have to fail in business. I mean, I've done other startups and ideas and I failed. I mean, it's just that's how it is. And then you kind of learn from what you did before, and then you apply that to what you're doing now, and then you're always learning. And don't ever be afraid to seek mentorship, because always mentorship goes a long way. And
Absolutely. Oh, hey, by the way, for those of us who just joined us, we're talking about Robbie Cabral, CEO BenjiLock, and these are great, incredible products. You can store up to 11 passwords, right? 11
and
fingerprints, excuse me. And it's both a traditional lock and a high-tech lock, and an incredible package, very strong devices. And you really need to have them now in this crazy society. So go to this, to go right here, BenjiLock.com, to check them out. And but we were also musing about the world of being an entrepreneur and everything else. It is. I feel this is invigorating as much as it is scary. And you're right, it is scary.
yeah, it is, because I mean, every week we don't know what's going on. We have a whole pandemic situation. We have a lot of things going on in the world, especially for brands and companies and products. Retail is going to go down regardless because a lot of the layoffs are happening. A lot of stores are only more focused on the essentials. So those buyers that used to buy products, they're kind of maybe have put budgets on hold because of all this, because we don't know what's going to happen next week. So then you have to kind of figure out a ways how to do a shift and promote your products or your brand in different ways to at least keep your brand name out there. So when the time comes, if you're not only selling online, but when it comes back to retail, then you're ready for that. So it's entrepreneurship at its best. So we have to kind of keep keep that positive energy up and keep being risk takers.
That's it. Keep being risk takers. Hey, so out of interest for your time, anything else you want to add before we close?
No, I mean, I'm proud to always seeing you again, because we saw each other in January, CS Unveiled, and it just felt like yesterday, and my goal is that, for you and your family, always be healthy during these times, and everyone tuning in that, whatever idea, whatever thing you want to do in life, don't be afraid to dream big. That's always been kind of like my thought. Never let anyone else tell you that you can't do anything. Just put your mind and heart and soul into that. And again, days are going to be tough. Days are going to be good. Success it's great, but at the end of the day, you have to keep that, line and be and
Grounded. Yeah.
yeah, just be grounded, and things will happen, and that, that's kind of like my message to everyone watching, that I know that a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now, but we'll get through this, as a unity, as a community. It's the whole world. I mean, it's global. Even back home in Dominican Republic, I mean, it's just global. I mean, it's just something that we're gonna have to deal with, but little by little we'll get there.
Can I ask you, as a Dominican, how has this affected you, and what kind of discrimination have you faced?
Oh man, I mean, I won't lie to you. I think what's going on right now, we have to be very supportive of this movement. And I've been one. My family have been one. We've been doing, the protests locally, safe, and I just feel that right now the country's going through a lot of things that probably, again, because I never lived my whole life here, I wasn't really accustomed to it. Because back home, we're all different. I mean, but it's the same. We have black, white, Asian. I mean, you name it. My family, for example, my great grandfather was black, African American. My great grandmother was white, and then that mix of those two is like my whole family. So you have a mixture of everything. So like it didn't really affected me, but when I moved in here in 2007, I mean, you see it. I mean, I probably won't disclose too much, but you definitely see it as a Latin immigrant, whether it's from work, you try to apply to jobs, you don't get it. You go through a lot of things in life that it is tough, to get to that hump, over that hump. And so I can relate with everything that is going on right now. I've personally, have gone through it. I won't name it, but it's just sad that we have to kind of, go through all this stuff. But I think sometimes the world is going through a change right now, and I think it's a positive change.
I completely agree. Hey, Robbie, stick around, because I have some ideas I want to chop up with you for a sec. And folks, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube, but also, most important, check out BenjiLock.com. Check out his products, buy his products, because believe me, you're going to need them in this society. You're going to need some protection. Just saying, you're going to need some protection. All right, everybody. We'll see. We'll talk NFL a bit later. It's Zenny62. Zenny62media.com is the corporation. OaklandNewsNow.com is our flagship blog. We got 98 blogs. Stick around. See ya. All right.